Hi, this is Yan Wang. You guys can call me Philip, the team leader of Yoyofriends, and today we're going to do an overview on the Yoyofriends Recoil. Now, Recoil is our answer to the super ultra wide 1A meta, or just in general, yo-yo meta that's going on right now for competition. And Recoil is inspired indeed by the cut series, that is ultra cut, the short cut, cross cut, and the hyper cut. And also, the paper cut. I forgot, there's so many cut in the cut series. So what is going on here is this yo-yo, well, the project, well, not this project particularly, but the concept of a wider yo-yo for Yoyofriends started back, I think, around mid 2025. Before that, 2025 US National Yo-Yo Contest. And we were like, okay, our widest yo-yo back in the days, Armageddon, 53 millimeter. And sometimes we realize, okay, that's just not wide enough. People are pushing mid 50 millimeter, around 55 millimeter wide yo-yo. So we need to start making those 55, 56. So we did make it. However, this thing doesn't quite play like what we want it to be. This design is by Tony's son. He is an awesome designer. This will play great, but we want to tweak something. Like, we think the weight is too low. It's like 65.1 grams, or a lot heavier. And by then, it pushed to latter half of 2025, and the yo-yo scene changed again. The yo-yos are getting even wider now, 60 millimeter yo-yos. So we started 3 to 4 projects. That's around 60 millimeter, and I was actually extremely angry because we don't have any answers for ultra wide yo-yo for our team, for the contest, or any new players incoming new players that's a new generation who wants a wider yo-yo. And I don't know how would they join Yoyofriends because we don't have one to provide for them. So we need to tackle this as soon as possible. And this is one of the projects that started. So the format didn't change. We used paper cut, ultra cut, all those cut series. This is the paper cut. So it has an infamous inner profile. There's 2 cuts in the middle, and also the outer ring is, I would consider this a cut as well, but where it meets, it's like a wing-shaped yo-yo. And this is exactly what we did. We got inspired 2 cuts here, and then we just stretch it as wide as possible, and have massive, super wide wings here. So for the width, we had to pick the spec, right? So for the width, we decided to do 62 millimeter because we were like, okay, if we do 60 or 50, high 50 millimeter, like around 58 to 59 millimeter now, what if in the future, like 2 years later, everybody's going even wider? So we want this yo to be even more relevant, and just to have that more width for just a good number, like outside of the box, instead of everybody doing 60, why not go 62? So for the diameter, this is a challenge. I told them specifically to go around 57 millimeter, which is what this yo-yo is, 57 millimeter diameter, because this yo-yo, I'm not forgetting about tech, right? We can't just have just pure drawn. So in a 3-minute or 2-minute freestyle, there's gonna be tech, there's gonna be speed combos, and one of them is chopsticks. So if the yo-yo is too big, like 58, 59 millimeter, it's gonna be harder to do chopsticks. And especially for the younger generation of people who are younger, who are not adult yet, who's not like developed height-wise or how big their hand is, a super big and wide yo-yo is just not comfortable for them to land chopsticks on. So 57 is the diameter, I think, is a sweet spot without losing too much stability. And also we picked the weight to be almost 68 grams because of with other projects we're doing, this is one of them, we figured that out, like 67 grams is just too light at around this diameter. It would work if we make the diameter bigger, but we just don't want to. So we kept it almost 68 grams, and yeah, so that is that. For the axle, we did 10 millimeter instead of 8 millimeter because we know that center weight will add acceleration and speed, rotational speed onto the yo-yo, and also durability. This is 60-61, just like the other cut series. So we want to go a little bit cheaper more wallet friendly instead of like, high 150 or almost pushing $200 on this kind of wide yo-yos. And so 10 millimeter, that increases the durability and decreases the proning to thread, and also adds that acceleration. And massive SS ring. So even though this ring is wide, like I said before, a wide ring doesn't mean it's extreme weight, outer ring weight distribution, because it's starting here. You're distributing the weight evenly from here to here instead of just on the outside. However, this is so far away, so wide from the center axis. Even at the start of the ring, even at here, it's so far away from the center, it's adding so much power and torque. So that really doesn't matter there. And yeah, so I'll have the full spec of the yo-yo here. Okay, so the smoothness of this yo-yo, I was worried about this. This yo-yo is so wide, and it's 60-61. So, but I'm glad that this is prototype 1, by the way. When I got it, it's dead glass smooth. So this is just really incredible from FPM there, our manufacturer and parent company. So it's absolutely great. So power on this yo-yo is very, very powerful. I think the most powerful Yoyofriends yo-yo yet. When you initially throw it, you will feel like the breakiness of the yo-yo. I would say the power is just south of a Outlier 6, and I think it's around a Logic 2, maybe even more, but I haven't played the Logic 2 too much to compare it with this yo-yo. But the power is just south of a Outlier 6. Extremely powerful, even though the diameter is not too big at 57. Extremely powerful because the ring weight is pushing almost 19, I think 19-ish grams, or really high 18, somewhere along that. Stability of this yo-yo, I was actually very worried about this. 62 millimeter width, 57 millimeter diameter. So the width is like more than the diameter. So the stability is gonna take a huge hit. However, it didn't here. I'm so glad. So the way we combat this, right? We have to figure out like the numbers. It's all a numbering game. Is to make the weight heavier. This is now 67.7 grams. That's a target weight. Realistically, it's gonna be north or south, like 0.2 or 0.3 grams, like that. But this yo is pretty heavy. So even if you push it, it's not gonna lose stability unless you misalign the strings, etc. But overall, this is very, very stable, especially in the horizontal plane. This will keep its plane without losing too much stability or just fall off. So that is great. Acceleration and top speed on this yo-yo is a highlight, because this size of the yo-yo, those two are gonna take a hit. In my humble opinion, Logic 2, it's very slow in terms of picking up speed. Sometimes it's a good thing if you're landing a trick, you have a very pacing, you're trying to work with it on the Logic 2. That would be awesome. However, this yo doesn't work like that. This yo won't work for you. So whatever speed you're trying to go, this yo will try to keep up with you instead of you keeping up with the yo-yo. And acceleration, it's very, very good. I would say medium to medium high, even though this yo is so heavy, so wide. As you can see, I can pick up speed no problem without making any faces, and then it will just keep up. It's not gonna beat our traditional Yoyofriends yo, like the replicant, the Peregrine Axis, the Hummingbird X or 2, sorry, Hummingbird 2 overclock and stuff. But the speed is the acceleration. Sorry, it's up there. Also, the 10 millimeter SS axle in the middle, that definitely helps, right? I can go super fast, and it will be fine with that. It won't work for you, not with you. So top speed on this yo, just as I demonstrated, very, very good. Once again, my wrist is injured from a table tennis tournament last Saturday. It's still healing, so I can't throw really hard, and it hurts the yo, but oh well, here it is. So if I mess up, I'm sorry. Flow and float on this yo, it's not that much, because so much ring weight, so big. You don't really want too much of that in a competition yo-yo, because you want to have full control. That's in my opinion, but this just doesn't have that. So it is a little bit intimidating to play with. So wide and so powerful. So like player discretion. You need to have the power and the skills to handle this, and a trick set, which I don't. But I had to test it. My sweet spot is around 15 millimeter, not 62. So it's up for you if you want one. So that is that. Horizontal too is very good. I think this is one of the highlights because it's got power, stability, and very underrated trait for a very good horizontal yo-yo, in my opinion, is acceleration. Because this yo-yo, if you don't have the rotational force and acceleration of the yo-yo keep going, the yo-yo is going to fall down. So what happens with the slower acceleration yo-yo is your horizontal will play very slow, unless you brute force it, but that makes you unstable. So this yo want to keep up with you and have great acceleration, so you can bully through your tricks faster without losing power. So, oh, that hurt right there. So as you can see, because this yo is pretty nimble, not nimble like for Yoyofriends yo, but pretty nimble for its size, that you can bully through tricks very fast while not losing plane at all, which sounds crazy because the width is more than the diameter, and it actually holds its plane very well due to rotational force and acceleration on this yo. So that's very good. One to highlight definitely. Binding on this yo, it's great. It's 4.54 millimeter gap width. I am slipping a little bit because kitty normal. I still use kitty normal. So string recommendation is kitty fat, kitty XL, OT fat, OT XL, and one equipment fat or equivalent of, just I think fat is the sweet spot for this yo-yo. XL might be a little bit too much, and normal it's usable like I am using it right now, but it's gonna slip a little bit. So finger grind on this yo-yo is very great because of the wide profile and the wide catch zone, that no matter how big your finger is, it's gonna land here. And B blasted 60-61 ensures you to finger grind forever. See, I have still power left. Thumb grind, there's no problem. There's a huge lip, and there is like a ridge here that you got space to play with. You're not even close to touching the SS, which is less smooth because it's not B blasted. So even if you're using your fingernail or your thumb finger to grind the yo-yo, you can pull off a very great thumb grind, no problem. Finger spin is average to below average, so just pretend this is like a flat surface. It is a flat surface with a center protruding area because of the 10 millimeter axle. So, oh, that's a bad throw on my wrist. Okay, so you can do it, but it's just average. Pretend it's a flat cup. You can still do your DNA stuff, but this kind of yo is not meant for just purely DNA. Those are for like the AOEs, the strand, and the helix. Those are that kind of stuff. So finger spin average to below average. So think of it as a center with a B blasted cup. So concluding on this yo-yo, it's a performance monster at 62 millimeter wide. It's super wide, super catchable, very powerful as well. I think the standout is the horizontal ability because of how much acceleration this yo-yo have, even though at this size, and even chopsticks because the diameter is not too big. So this just really ticks every single box for you to do crazy John Kids, whatever newer generation, brain rot, 6-7, tuning Sahur, whatever scuba tricks that you're doing. But also you can still do your more technical chopstick tricks, tricks that needs a yo-yo to have a rapid response and acceleration. This yo will help you as well. And I think, of course, the horizontal is the standout because of the acceleration. Downside of this yo-yo, 62 millimeter wide. It's not going to be an everyday carry. You carry a 62 millimeter wide yo-yo in your pocket. It is a bit intimidating. When you initially throw at it, it's going to feel bricky because of how much it weighs and how just sheer rim weight of this yo-yo. You're not going to fully appreciate the yo unless you move it a little bit, unless you push it really a little bit, and it's not too much float. It's not super fun in that area. It doesn't have any quirky acceleration. It just performs and work for you, not with you. So that is the conclusion of the 62 millimeter wide crazy project for our 1A, the Recoil. Oh yeah, Jonathan on our team actually won the Sydney Regionals for using this yo, and then three of our players are gonna use this yo for contests. Jonathan won Yahoo, who's second, and then our newest player, he's gonna he slash she is gonna use this yo-yo as well. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.